1.1 FM Abuja, and the time, of course, is here for The Violated. My name is Ruth. In case you're just joining in right now, I am Ruth Usman, and joining me in the studio to discuss on The Violated today is Mr. Isaac Onoja. Good afternoon to you, sir.
Good afternoon, Ruth.
He was missing in action. We were supposed to have him here last week, but he couldn't. I have to tell them your secret now. But he's here now. Mr. Isaac Onoja is an emotional intelligence expert, and today he'll be talking with us on The Violated. The Violated is a program that focuses on all kinds of abuse, domestic abuse, child abuse, and all those, abuse that people encounter in relationships. Now, for this particular area that we're going to focus on today, it has everything to do with the impact of domestic violence on women's mental health. Now, domestic violence can come in a lot of forms. Sometimes it's very, very physical, where you see injuries and all that. On how do we marry this together? How possible is it that it can affect, especially as with focus now on the woman, how does it affect her mental health?
Okay, thank you very much, and good afternoon, listeners. Now, violence generally is on the increase around the world because people have not been able to put together the emotional aspect of living. Man is completely emotional, and to make it more complicated, the woman is more emotional than a man. So it means when you have situations happening to women, they come down with several conditions following that. So violence, physical violence is a we say is a consequence of emotional violence. Let me say it again. Physical violence is a consequence of emotional violence. If somebody has been violated emotionally, the next phase the man will complete the work is to go physical.
So in case the person being abused did not even notice that there has been emotional violence going on or abuse,
Yeah.
when it gets to that point where someone begins to hit you, put physical injuries on your body, it means that the person has already abused you even emotionally.
Emotionally, yes. What you see, we say whatever you see physically has already occurred where it's not seen. So whatever is physical has an unseen hand. Nothing is done without a foundation. So if a woman has been physically abused, that means long before then there's been emotional abuse. And emotional abuse is more dangerous than even physical. Now, neuroscience. Neuroscience has come to say that when you even bully a child, you cause permanent brain damage. When they say something is permanent. So you see many people are suffering a lot of mental health issues that are not, that do not have their origins from today. It came from the past when they were children. That's why parenting has become very critical for us to begin to look at it more in depth. To say it's not just to go get a man or get a woman pregnant and you have children. It's higher than that. How are you relating with these children? Are you relating to them as human beings or as things? Because some people are related to as things. You're just one of the furniture or one of those things in the house. My children, when you hear some people say my children, they are not human beings. They are part of the furniture, the assets that I have, so I can push them around, I can see anything to them, I can beat them. That's why you see people when they hit children, or you'll be wondering, do you mean a human being will hit another human being like this? That man hitting that child is reacting to something that has a component that is not even in the physical that we all see. So when you talk about mental health, we have been talking about physical health in the past and now communicable diseases and all that. But we have left the mental health, which is critical. The brain, we have left the learning of the brain to body. We have been talking about body. Are you well? Do you have hypertension? Do you have? Meanwhile, it has been found that all these other diseases have their origins in the emotions. Emotions drive people. So when a woman is physically abused, she has been long going through emotional abuse. And when a woman now, I think there are two cases. There's even one is in court right now. The woman who killed her husband. I heard of another one 3 days ago. Another woman poisoned her husband and her brother-in-law, and killed them. Now listen, women do not get angry. The anger of a woman is stimulated by fear. Listen now.
Okay.
A woman's anger is not anger in its real form. It's anger stimulated by fear. But a man's anger is pure anger. So women should do more in doing what we call fear mastery or fear management, and men will concentrate more on anger management or anger mastery.
Meaning, what kind of fear now? I mean, the fear of the unknown, what could happen?
Now, if you put a woman or get men and women together and ask the men, when was the last time you felt fear or you were afraid? You find men saying, they're trying to think. They can't even remember. But ask a woman, when was the last time you felt fear or you were afraid? She'll tell you, I'm afraid right now. I feel fear right now. Or I just came in, as I was coming, I was afraid coming here. Now, if a man and a woman are in the car and somebody hits the car, another man hits the car and tries to go away, the man that was hit will start chasing, isn't it? The other man. Anger is stimulated in that man to chase. But the woman tells the man, please stop. No. What is our issue now? She's afraid of the consequences of this chase. So when the woman is now angry at the stop, when the man stops the other guy and they go maybe fighting or stuff, when the man gets into the car and the woman is exhibiting anger, that why did you have to do that? Don't you know? And the woman starts saying, don't you know that this man could even be somebody that has a weapon that could shoot us and all that? The woman now is expressing anger from fear. Do you get the difference now?
I get it.
The man is saying, who is this man to hit my car and run away? The woman is saying, hey, there could be something more.
There could be danger.
And that's how the two brains are wired. Now, in the wiring of the female brain is different from the wiring of the male's brain. Now, the woman is a born communicator. But the man, 8 weeks after conception, testosterone made the communication center of the man to shrink. So men, including me, we have communication problems. That's why in relationship you find women saying, this man is not communicating to me. Then the man will say, what do you mean? I buy rice, I buy this, I do this, I do that. That's not what she's talking about. So the man needs to now learn, expand, try to move a bit and see what is communication to a woman. A woman does not speak directly. A woman is suggestive. If a woman tells you, this suya looks nice, she's telling you, buy suya for me. But if the man doesn't understand, the man will now say, that's how they do it.
Just nod and say, yes, it looks fine.
Yes, and that's it.
Wow.
So these are the differences in relationships that cause problems. And now, why are women being violated? And why do we have this increase in violence, physical violence now? The women are going through what we call meaninglessness. There's a new disease in town called meaninglessness. And it's coming from the fact that women have been seen to just be objects of pleasure, objects or furniture or part of your achievement. Like a man getting married, to the man, like you hear some men say, I use my money to marry you. What does that mean? You are now my property. So the woman loses herself. Can you imagine? I met some woman who, for instance, if you meet Anne and Anne tells you, I am looking for Anne. I'm looking for my Johnny. I'm looking for Anne. Anne is asking, where is Anne? because
Because she
Anne
can
is
no longer
lost.
recognize the person
She's lost in serving somebody, in pretending to be what she's not. She cannot pursue her own purpose. So now there's a greater violation of women called spiritual violation, where the woman, and that's what causes the woman's reaction, that she has been violated spiritually, that she has no contribution to humanity. That is your greatest asset. 4 needs of human beings: to live, to love, to learn, and to leave a legacy. To leave a legacy is the ultimate. So the woman finds, I can't leave a legacy. I have no contribution to humanity. I can't do anything. I can't even show what I have. Then she begins to fight. And let me tell you, if any woman is fighting for spiritual violation, it's only God that can stop that woman. So when they go fighting, they go, and when a woman says, I'm going to do this, she will do it to the fullest. We should be very careful. The woman is special. The woman is kind. The woman is loving. But once she's engaged in an activity and she says she will deliver it, her hormones are so prepared to give her the results. So the violation is coming from men are now feeling that women are taking their jobs. There's a new feeling now. The women are succeeding more than we are succeeding. And they see them as threats. Can you imagine? For instance, if my wife is the president of Nigeria, Ruth, who is the president? Am I not? I am.
Okay.
But somebody does not. If my wife, I mean my wife, is the president of Nigeria, who is the president?
It's her now. I mean, it's her that we know. You are the first man. First lady, first man. You're the first man.
So what's that? I'm the president. Okay, yes, I could be behind the scene, but I am the president.
Because you are the husband.
But some men, yes. But some men will fight hard not to get to that position because they don't want to be seen as she's in that position that I should be in, and I'm here. But it's because we don't really understand life. That once you get married, or once you're in a relationship, and a romantic one, there is a connection that comes, and it should lead to progress. So we are fighting because of our preconditioning. You know, there's a preconditioning of men, that men are meant to provide, men are meant to be this, men are meant to. So many men are victims of societal alignment. I mean, societal expectations, high expectations. When the man has got no job and the woman has got a job and feeding the family, it's okay. That should go on until the man gets a job. But no, when the man loses his job, a job loss for a man is greater than losing a job. It's like losing himself.
True.
So he starts fighting. But he shouldn't. With training, you shouldn't. It's just, something just happened for something else to come. Let her do while she's there. We are one. If I'm married to you, I don't have money, you don't have money. It's our money. The problem is me, self, ego, ego. We tell men, remove E, quickly, take E away, so that you can go.
So you can go.
Many men have been stopped because of ego. They can't do this, they can't do that. And what they do now, they now lash it on and begin to fight their women. You see it even on the road. Somebody drives in a certain way, and the man tries to check who is driving. Now, woman.
Oh, I've heard that a lot of times.
And that statement is, yes, it's a statement of bully. It's a bullying statement. What do you mean? You mean men don't drive like this? Okay, somebody say, hey, women don't know how to drive. And I ask, statistics now, how many number of accidents do we have? How many women are involved?
True.
So if you want to talk about, because if you do indices, you say, okay, if somebody is better than the other, okay, let's look at the number of accidents per year.
And how many men are responsible
for it? Look, let's see ourselves as humans first before we start this gender stuff.
Okay, so being that women are more emotional now, you're saying that most of the things they experience in their relationships or the kind of treatments they receive from their male counterparts would either, in most cases, result or appear to be like violence on their part, even though what you're saying is in reality more like fear.
Yes.
But then when whatever action they take comes out looking like they are violent.
Yes. You know, when you violate something or violate a woman, it means you take something that is hers away from her. you inflict a physical injury. That means you move her from health, from well unbroken skin to broken skin. So women feel that the moment they are not listened to, listening is what we call in emotional intelligence, it gives you what you call psychological air. When you listen to people and you listen to understand and not to respond, what we do is we don't listen. We just prepare our response. You hear people talking, you say, okay, have you finished? Have you finished? Finish now, finish now, finish now. He's not listening. He's just waiting to respond, to say his own. But once you listen to understand, you give the other person psychological air. Unfortunately, the man's communication center, listen again, we're going back again to neuroscience, has a problem from 8 weeks of pregnancy. It is not as robust as that of the woman. So the woman expects that. So it takes a man to calm down and become self-aware. So that's why we'll talk about in emotional intelligence of self-awareness. Do you know who you are? Do you know how you function as a man? And I say, oh, this is how women are. Women, because of the way a woman has more than 3,000 words for one thing. Somebody, for instance, I just came to the studio, isn't it? And just say, I went to the studio, I had a radio program, and I'm back. Not for a woman. A woman will say, as I was coming, I saw some people outside. The gate man was this. I said, there was one
the
blue
narrative
color.
it always adds color.
Yes. So if you don't understand the woman and she's trying to give you the detail, you now tell her, okay, you just went to the studio and came back, you have caused a problem. She feels you do not love her.
Not interested.
Yes, you're not interested. So that's where we now go back to meaninglessness. A woman wants her life to have meaning. Meaning, as in, when I say something, I'm listened to. The response comes in line with the way I brought it. Not to be stopped or to be told to keep quiet. You want to kill a woman? Tell her, shut up.
Okay, I hope some of the men don't get it wrong now, and then they go and start to tell their wives to just shut up.
But would they be alive themselves if they do that? If they're bringing battles, the battles will continue to rage. Allow them to freely speak and learn. You know, I'm a couple. I do John Gottman couple therapy. So they say that men and women should allow influence from both parties. Allow your woman to influence you. Allow your man to influence you. So men, relax. Let the women teach you how to communicate. You know, it becomes a problem. They say, you mean a woman is teaching you? Woman. So when they hear woman, there's something, that installation that was given from the traditional way of who a man is. Say, no, you should not listen to women, should not teach you. A woman should teach you. Even in offices, you find men saying, no, they can't take instruction from a woman. Now, this woman is ahead of you. This woman is more qualified than you. But that traditional installation, like you install a software in a computer, is still running that program of your brain that a woman is not supposed to give you instruction. That there's battle. When another man comes and gives instruction, you carry it out happily.
Even when he's not qualified.
Even when he's not qualified. But if a woman is doing it, you do it grudgingly. Why? It's your installation. So number one, we tell men, we have to uninstall that part, that program that tells you you are greater or better than a woman. No sex is better. Every sex has its own functionality, and we have rules. So we have his role plays. The man plays his role. The woman plays her role. I'm not better than you. When that word entered the dictionary, trouble entered the word. Better than. If I come to this studio now and now say, my studio is better than yours, what happens to you?
I will attack.
You start attacking. So let's remove that and let's live together as people who love the same things. Because what you love, I love. And we say to people, what you want, wants you.
Now, for those who are listening to us right now, can we just paint this clear picture so that, they'll have this understanding? We're saying here that if you are a man that, abuse your wife in one way or the other, whether it's emotional abuse or it's physical, you can affect her mental well-being. Yes. How do we describe a woman now that is fully being affected mentally by all of the, violence she must have experienced from her spouse?
Number one, very, 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 very low self-esteem. many women, right now as we speak, because of the violence that they have been through, have low self-esteem. And if you have very low self-esteem, you can't sell anything, not even yourself. So, economically, it takes you back. What is holding our women back from being economically viable or strong? They have been violated. The thought of being a woman violates a woman because of the derogatory, nature men take women. Do you understand? So, low self-esteem. And once your self-esteem is low, everything begins to fall down. Now, women get very angry from fear that they cannot contribute, fear that they will lose their positions. 3 now, a woman will go into rage sooner than later. 4 now, a woman could be depressed. Depression in women is higher than in men. Why? For these reasons. Once your self-esteem is down, you don't like yourself. The neurotransmitter called serotonin is not being produced in that required quantity because it needs a precursor, something that would stimulate the production. So it's always down. Anytime you look at yourself in the mirror, you don't say woman. You drop your head. So they give you a tax, you are depressed most of the time. And now they move to suicidal tendencies. And women are committing suicide. But we don't have so many data to show. Women are committing suicide. They are not like vocal as men who say before they die, they do this and do that. They are committing because they feel, what am I doing here? What am I here for? And again, one thing we should also realize as men, a woman's body is very important to her. You hear men saying all kinds of things about the body. And women don't realize it until in the future. They now find that this body of mine is very precious. I've not really taken care of it the way I should. And it leads them again to depression. So can you see where it's coming from now? That when you violate women mentally, you are affecting their core. And once the core is affected, everything is affected. So now, what would they now start doing? Transferred aggression on children. They now start becoming very aggressive to children, angry with their children, hitting their children, some making their children deaf. For instance, you slap a child and it got to the eardrums and broke deafness. Or you slapped in anger, blind. You are slapping that child like a revenge for the husband, your
it's
spouse.
All a ripple effect.
Ripple effect. So the whole family, economics will go down. You start attending hospital. You start diseases like hypertension will come, stroke follows. So can you see the effect of mental health issues with women? And let me say this. Once women are now affected mentally and all that, we'll begin to have children that will have mental health issues. Because the women will also violate them. We call it radicalization. Since they have been radicalized. Radicalization means something was taken from them, so they go to take from each person. So they want to take from the child. As they take from the child wants to take from the next person. So we are radicalizing the whole system.
Do they do that knowingly?
Unknowingly, it's an unconscious behavior.
Because, I don't see, any parent.
It's an unconscious behavior. Like you see a child, like if you've watched recently a mother beating her daughter, the way she was beating that girl, you know she's reacting to something unconsciously. When she's done and you play her that video, she will deny it till tomorrow. And we say 90% of the time the human being is unconscious. 90% of the time. If I asked you the only time you recognize so many things in this studio was the first 1 week you worked here. How you even got to sit down now, you don't know. Because the body operates under that very highly efficient way of making things just move on what we call autopilot. So the woman can be doing something she doesn't even know. Hitting the children and backing at them. I went somewhere the other day. I saw the way this woman was treating her children. I now called the woman. When we got talking, I found out that she had a problem from her parents. I had to take her back to her when she was a child, and she identified it.
Now that you're talking about it, there is something I would want to say in that regard, but then we'll have to go on a break at this point. We'll come back and talk more.
Okay.
Human Rights Radio. It's very simple. They must be hiding something. That's the bottom line.
The bitter truth.
Jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle all the way.
Hello everyone, my name is Kemi Adeyemi. You all listen to me on Human Rights Radio 101.1 FM on Oshe OJ. Here is wishing you Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Enjoy.
Merry Christmas!
On the 5th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 5 croaker fish, 4 roasted corn, 3 plantain, 2 garden egg, and 1 okpa inside leather. Yeah, my country people, my name na Posh Lady, aka Ajebo for skin, Pako for mouth, and I wish all my fans them, they wish all my friends them happy holiday.
101.1 FM.
Human Rights Radio. Ha na 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 na. Human Rights Radio. Human Rights Radio. Ha na 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 na. Redefining broadcasting. Merry Christmas, people, from all of us at Human Rights 101.1 FM. Redefining broadcasting.
Merry Christmas!
Hi, I'm Sophie Tarfa from Human Rights Radio 101.1 in Abuja, Nigeria, the first of its kind in the continent. Wishing you all
And I have been speaking with Mr. Isaac Onoja. He's emotional intelligence expert here, and he's helping us to see the impact of domestic violence, especially on women's mental health. Now, we've been talking about so many consequences of or results of being, violated in some way. And I wanted to ask, just like you were saying, you spoke to a woman and she was, talking about her childhood. Will the effects be double if these women have experienced child abuse in the past?
Yes, because it becomes like a cumulative effect. That what they have experienced in the past, is being repeated. So it's like a double dose.
But they're adults now.
They're adults now, but can I tell you something about the brain? The brain learns and stores. Learns and stores. The most difficult thing you can do, that's the problem of humanity, is to unlearn. You can unlearn, but it's difficult to unlearn. Because we are very resistant to change. The current administration talked about so much change. And I tell you, that word change is very difficult, but it's the only constant thing. If you want to grow, you need to change. You want your income to move from 100,000 to 200,000. Something has got to change. But the problem is, how do we get change? It comes from only learning and unlearning and relearning. The brain is plastic. We call it in neuroscience. I'm a pharmacist, and I also did
I did
neuroscience. Neuroplasticity, we say, has replaced the old notion that old dogs cannot learn new tricks. Now, old dogs, after 100 years, can learn new tricks. The brain is plastic. You stretch it, you can stretch it, and it can also shrink. Now, learning expands the brain, stretches the brain. And anytime you're learning anything and it's not difficult, you're not learning. Anything like, you see, the difficulty brought by recession in Nigeria. Do you know there's a benefit of recession? Many people began to think. Thomas Edison said, for the 7.1 billion people on the planet, 5% think. 15% think they are thinking. 80% would rather die than think.
Oh my God.
Thinking.
Those
It's only
figures.
thinking that can make you learn and relearn and unlearn. Thinking. How many people really think? Critical thinking about their situations. Why am I behaving in this way? What is making me feel that if I buy a house or if I buy a car for myself as a woman, the men will run away? There's a condition in our society, and boys and men say, if you find this lady who has a nice car, has a nice house, is probably a very wayward lady and all that. But that's not true. That's a one-story assumption, and you're not fair to women. Can I ask you as a man, should you, because you want to get married, not eat good food, not wear good clothes, not sleep in a good house, and not drive a good car? I'm sure you don't want to go that way. So why are you now blaming it on the women?
Well,
You're running away.
Yeah, society says it's okay to expect a man to live good to attract a woman. In the other way, maybe a woman shouldn't do all this. She should just be how she is, where she is, without anything, so that a man will come lift her up.
Then I now ask you, are we not seeing it today that we have married women who are, in quote unquote, useless to us? We made them useless. So we married them. They have no use. So a man is now fighting. You look at you cannot even contribute any money. Look at you. I just married you and you're... But remember. You said, pack your brain until the man comes. Many women packed their brains. Let me ask you, if you bought a 2016 Toyota Corolla, brand new, and you packed it for 2 years, 2018, then you now say, I'm going to Lagos. You take the key and put an ignition and try to start. Will the car start? No. Brand new, you packed it for 2 years. You can't go to Lagos. You have to change the battery, change the oil. As you're going, you start hearing one sound. You have to change the ball joint, change the tires before you can achieve. So many brains, many women have packed their brains because of what the society talks about women. So we are now underutilizing our women. We have a society where 50%, let us speak, if we say 50-50, 50% are not contributing, only 50%. So how do you think that society will be? It will not be functional. What do we really want? Do we want fashion? It is fashionable for you to say women are like this and quiet. They do nothing, they just listen. Or functional, that the women are speaking and we are developing. Our houses are better. We have parks and gardens. We have our place of work is balanced. Let me tell you, if one part of the autonomic nervous system is the one functioning, for instance, if it's only the sympathetic nervous system that is functioning, you'll be hypertensive. That's hypertension. And if it's only the parasympathetic that is functioning, you have hypotension. You'll be in shock.
Okay.
So we want a balance. Sympathetic, parasympathetic. Men, women. So if we have a society with that balance, we have a well society. A woman can achieve any political position she wants. A woman can achieve any financial status and they have the potential to do. We are all human beings. No man is better than a woman. Let me say it. If you write it down, no man is better. And I'm speaking from science. Science solves problems. Art creates problems. Science will tell you it is anywhere you go in the world, 50 kilograms is 50 kilograms. 50 kilograms is science, is a unit for measurement. So for brain function, brain action, women, the man's brain and the woman's brain, they are the same. They are not gray brains, they are not black brains. The only differences you find in the male and the female brain is in the production and in the size of certain areas, which helps them to function in their roles. So let nobody say, for instance, a woman remembers every single emotional activity. Why? Her hippocampus, which is responsible for memory, is larger than the man's own. So if she's remembering every birthday And the man is not remember. If you're a man, you don't remember birthday, don't go to take any drug. Your hippocampus is smaller than the woman.
Okay, so we can actually use that to just tell the men, okay, our brain is better. In this case, let's turn the table around.
Now, if you now use that better now, you will now create a problem. It's for a function.
Yeah.
It's for and there's a reason for that, because she's producing children. She needs to have that brain capacity to be able to remember.
Okay, before we open up the phone line, let's still talk a little more on, how previous experience in child abuse really does affect, how a woman would react to some of the things she may go through.
Now, if your mother always tells you, come to the kitchen, so that you can cook well and get a good husband. Why are you sitting like this? Women that sit like this, they don't have good husband. You have to, now all you hear is husband. That's the brain for you. The brain is storing those things. So the woman gets out of school. What's she waiting for?
Husband.
Blood pressures rising all over. Women, many women have been taken advantage of because of this husband. They say, yeah, if you do like this, this man will run away from me. Let me tell you something. Your life should not be dependent on a man. Do you know why? That man can die. And they are dying. Look at our widows, for instance. Many men kept their widows from doing nothing, kept their brains packed. Just stay at home, don't do anything. He does nothing. The man is the one going out and coming in. Then he dies. They can't earn. Your greatest asset is your earning ability. As a man, listen to me. If you have give your woman that ability to earn, then you are a free man. Until then, you are a bond servant. If the woman cannot earn money, even you can't be free. Because now you are dead. What will happen to her and the children you have left behind? These are the issues. So when you find people talking about saying the woman should, look, once you don't engage your brain, you have problems. For instance, this current fuel situation, even though it's not a very good one to give an example with, they said they did a research in Kano that whenever there's fuel crisis, crime rate goes down. How? They find that these boys who cause this crime because they are not engaged. When there's fuel scarcity and they go do this, the black marketing and all that, that energy they spend running after vehicles, trying to sell and all that, removes them from crime, because in the evening, they're already tired.
They're tired.
They go to sleep.
Wow. Okay.
So engagement, are we engaging our women? Are we engaging our men? Once those women, they were just raised to just be mothers or to just be wives. Wife is a part of being a woman. One small part. There's a purpose other than that. I met a woman who told me her purpose in life is to get married. Who gave her that purpose? Her parents. Her parents. Now, nothing on earth. This woman, after some time, she'll become frustrated because
you find that doesn't come.
Yes. Even if the husband comes, you discover that I have to see now married, see the husband. What next? See, people are helping children. People are doing some community activity I can't do because my own is, I'm married now. And the man too, who said that what he wants, will now be frustrated with this woman. Tired, say, oh, how did I get to hang myself? I mean, how did I get hooked to this woman? Because to him, the woman is just there, not contributing, not challenging. How many men want women that cannot challenge them? As in to say, hey, let's look at this again. Let's argue. Argument is very good. If you have a woman,
healthy.
Very healthy.
It's healthy.
If you have a woman who does not argue with you, a yes, sir woman, man,
that's having
a
robot.
Yes, you're in a hole.
You're having a robot for a while. We have to open up the phone line 081-8999-1011. You can call in with your thoughts on the conversation. We're looking at the impact of domestic violence on women's mental health. The things that can bring about certain reactions from women. It could stem from, well, I call it misinformation. I mean, if you've been telling someone, guiding someone, in a particular pattern, it's not really 100%. Things that could actually result from all of this. So feel free to be a part of the conversation. You can call 081-8999-1011 and let's get to hear your thoughts on this issue this afternoon. Hello? Oops, I think I lost that one. Feel free to call right back.
Hello.
Hello?
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. You're welcome.
Yeah, my name is Peter. I'm calling from the tree.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, the last word is if you have a woman that always says yes, I don't know if you understand the meaning of what is.
You don't know what. You need to move away from that person.
Yeah, I'm out now.
Yeah, he said, talking about a woman who says yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Now you are a call. What does that one mean?
Okay. It means the woman who just says yes, sir. Anything you say, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You'll be so bored. You say, hey, can you give your view about this? Can we argue about this a bit? If she can't argue with you, do you want to stay with that kind of woman?
Do you understand what he's saying?
Yeah, I'm listening.
Okay, so would you want someone that would at least say something a bit different from what you have said, or someone that would always say yes to anything and everything you say? Hello?
Okay, it's gone.
Okay, I think so.
So just to, you see, you need a perspective, another perspective. Sometimes you could be unconscious about your perspective. Somebody has to bring you to consciousness. So you need that person.
Okay, let's see. Oops, okay, we lost that one now.
You know, so that's what I'm trying to say. You need another perspective. You know, the same way we had our school system producing employees. How do they produce them? Study hard, get good grades so you can get a job. So people come out looking for what?
Jobs.
A job.
No one
where are
has
the jobs?
any skill.
No skill. Where are the jobs? They didn't say study, get a skill, and create jobs.
Hello? Please stay away from your radio. Hello? Oh, I think we lost that. Please, each time you're calling in, ensure that you turn off your radio so we can have a clear conversation. Hello?
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Welcome.
My name is, I'm calling from Apo.
Okay, go ahead.
I think this is a nice topic. I've been listening to both of you. Thumbs up to your guests over there in the studio.
Yeah, you can hear me.
I'm actually happy to, because I've learned something from what he said, that the ladies' brain is bigger than that of men. That's why they're able to remember some bits of death and all that, you know. And over time, I've always been an advocate of
Hello? Hello?
Can you hear me?
Okay, we can hear you now.
Most of the time, it's not actually the fault of the husband that the wife is actually a housewife. Some ladies don't like stressing themselves or working out. They like being housewife. They depend on the husband every now and then. So that's my
okay.
My
well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, yeah, that's also true. Some are like, honey, we have everything. I don't want to bother myself. I don't want to stress myself.
No, somebody made them so.
Okay.
Somebody made them so.
So there's always a reason. There's why we behave the way we do.
Yeah, somebody conditioned that child, that woman when she was a child. That's just it. You know,
okay.
Another thing that makes women just behave and stay there is one very big issue we call religion. Yes. So people don't understand the difference between spirituality and religion. See, when you hear some people talking about women using religion and not spirituality, you'll be amazed. They just see women as trouble creators. Evil. I know a man who told me, woman, they cause problem for the world. Some people, even one man sang, No woman, no cry. Isn't it?
And it's a hit record.
You know? So now when women hear that, so we sometimes empower these women and say, okay, give us tears. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that's not true. That's not true. When a woman knows that she needs to live and be happy too, it's a deliberate effort to everyone to be happy. So when some women don't do something is happening. Something happened somewhere. Something happened somewhere. That's why we need to go back. Where did this thing happen? And we can undo it for where it happened. If not, the woman gets so frustrated. She gets so angry. She's raising children in anger.
Okay, so by way of conclusion now, from all that you've said, there is always a starting point for whatever action that is being carried out, whether it's from the person who perpetrates this abuse in the relationship or to the person who is being abused, because they can also transfer it on other people.
That's it.
How do we begin to work on this? It's something that is ongoing. It's something, the aim of this program is to try to bring people out of these kinds of situations. If they're possibly going through some form of domestic violence or abuse, to know what they need to do, so it doesn't get to this point that we talk about depression and even having suicidal thoughts.
Yeah, okay, for the men or for the people who afflict or do the violation, what are your patterns? You have to look at recognizing your patterns. When you get angry, you hit. So once you have recognized, this is my pattern. Anytime I get so angry, or anytime she's talking to me about money, I get so worked up and I hit her. That's a recognition, isn't it?
How many people have the time to sit and ask themselves, why do I do this?
Great. And that's the only way to start. I told you about...
because especially in cases like this now, it is very likely he feels the woman is always the cause.
Okay.
So he won't even take that 1 second to say, okay, let me check myself. Could it be me?
Good.
Am I overreacting?
Good. Then next question. With all that you are doing, are you getting the results you desire?
Okay.
What are the outcomes you want? Is your life peaceful? Are you happy? If these questions are no, there is time to sit down. If you want to continue like that, sorry, you are going to die an unhappy person. You'll be so sick. You'll be spending, you can't enjoy. You'll be spending money on drugs. You'll be attending all kinds of things. But if you sit down and say, hey, if this woman is doing this, like somebody, can you imagine somebody tells you, is this woman that is making me to beat her?
Yeah.
So I now say, so you mean you gave the power of your whole life to somebody else. Yeah. So she's your robot. She's the one controlling you. That's what it means. If the woman is the one making you bitter, you say, listen again. I told the woman, I said, the woman, I say it again. He said, it's my wife that's making me bitter. Say it again. It's my wife that's making me bitter. So when she said it the 5th time, he said, really?
He understood what he was saying.
He said, oh, that was when he understood. That was when his thinking brain. Maybe next time when we talk again, I'll take people through the anatomy of the brain. You understand what parts of the brain, how do they function? Once the rational brain opens up, after those 5 questions I asked him, he opened his rational brain and said, oh, so I'm not really a victim. I have a choice. Let me say this. Viktor Frankl made a statement, and I want you to write it down. Put it on billboards if you can. Between stimulus and response is a space. In that space is our freedom to choose. And in those choices lies our happiness and our freedom. Between stimulus and response is a space. In that space is our freedom to choose. And in those choices lies our happiness and our freedom. So, you are not a victim. You have a choice.
All right, then in any case, you have a choice. Thank you so very much, Mr. Isaac Onoja, for being with us on the program today. It's been quite interesting.
Thank you for having me.
And many thanks to those who listened in as well. We'll make a return with this program same time next Sunday, God willing. Do make it a date with us on The Violated next week. And stay with us right here on Human Rights Radio 101.1 FM. My name is Ruth Usman, and this is where I say goodbye to.